Go ahead, count them down, Deb. We are live. Hello, everybody. It's Skip Clark, Deb Lamphere, and of course, our guest tonight. You may recognize him from season 13 of The Voice, and he was Team Adam. And I want you all to say hi to Dylan Gerard. Dylan, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm all right.
Cool. Where about? Describe your surroundings. Where are you?
I am in Jacksonville, Florida right now. Kind of out by the beach.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's where I am. I mean, I didn't go to the beach today or anything. I was up on my sister's roof working, trying to fix some stuff for her. But
dude, it's not the day to be on the roof. I know, at least here in the Northeast, it was not the day to be on a roof.
You're telling me. I got a little sunburn to.
Hello, everybody. What was the temperature there today in Jacksonville?
Well, I mean, I don't really know.
It's humid though, right?
Like it's in the mid to high 90s always to me.
Oh my God.
That's what we had here today, I think.
Well, we had 92, but the humidity was way up, and tomorrow it's even supposed to be a little bit hotter. But let's talk about you a little bit, Dylan. Let's talk about you and The Voice and what got you to being on The Voice, and then we'll take it from there.
All right. Well, I'll try and I guess not weigh you down with details. I used to play.
We love details,
right? We were before we started going on. We were talking about the Mets and Port St. Lucie. They're like feeder team, but down in Port St. Lucie, they have a Club Med down there. And my brother used to work at that Club Med, and I would go and play. And so one of the sound guys just really liked me. And one day he texted me and said, "Hey man, what's your address? All this stuff." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Are you trying to steal my identity, man? What's going on?"
That's a little weird, but all right.
Right. And but he said, "No, I'm signing you up for The Voice. You have to do it." He told me to be in Nashville this day and this time, and I mean, the rest is just.
Who was that guy? I mean, there was a guy that was at the club that he had something to do with The Voice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't. He just signed me up. He said, "You need to go on The Voice." His name was Cruiser. We called him Cruiser.
Okay. All right.
And he set me up with it and everything, and then we just went up to Nashville, and I auditioned there at the convention center with thousands of people, and luckily enough, I was able to make it on. So I mean, but you went up to Nashville with just because he had signed you up and said, "Okay, you're going to go to the Nashville audition, and then we'll see what happens." Yeah. Well, actually, the day before, I was over at it's either Elon or Elon University. I don't remember the pronunciation, but I was interviewing for a PA program, a physician's assistant program there. And so like I went up with my parents and we got in the car and drove to Nashville, and I auditioned the next day. So, I mean, I was going to be kind of up there anyways.
Right.
So I just went ahead and did it.
So what was that like going into that environment and auditioning in front of those people? Did you kind of want to just choke?
Well, it was so nerve-wracking every time. And the next step was more nerve-wracking than the next step, than the next step. And but I mean, I went in and I sang a cappella, and I sang Maren Morris Is My Church, and I sang that a cappella, and then they had me sing another song after that, and then just brought me out to LA. That was my first time in LA. It was really cool, but yeah, just super nerve-wracking. Every single time.
I don't know if I've ever heard a guy sing My Church. I'm trying to, I know a lot of people do a lot of different covers, but I don't think I've ever heard a male do Maren Morris's My Church. So.
Yeah, no, I loved that song back when it came out, and I would play it live, and I think my parents and some other people just said that they really liked my version, so I decided to give it a shot.
Put your own spin on it, man. That's cool. Make it yours. Which you probably did. And that's the other good thing. I think when the producers see that you can make something yours, put your own unique spin on something, that gives you a little bit of an advantage. It's not like the same old thing over and over again.
Right.
hey, this is Dylan Gerard doing this version of My Church. It's different. It's awesome, but it's the same song.
Well, I'd like to think that maybe helped me get there. So,
so you went out to the West Coast, and what happened at that point?
They put us in a hotel, and we just we kind of got ourselves ready and auditioned, and luckily Adam and Jennifer Hudson turned for me. But I mean, I had some country in my voice, but I wasn't really singing a country song when I auditioned.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what people say. They're always like, Blake didn't turn for you, man. Come on. Yeah, I mean, Blake didn't turn for me, but I really wasn't I wasn't really that country. But with that being said, he also picks people that aren't necessarily country. But
okay,
what's trying to blend?
Right.
Deb?
I think they try to blend. They don't like Blake doesn't always pick a country person. I've seen Adam pick country people, so they have to.
And what song did you sing?
There I sang "Say You Won't Let Go" by James Arthur. It's just kind of a ballad, but it's got some soul to it.
Yeah, it definitely does. And then you were up there singing this song,
right?
And one chair turns, the other turns. What was that feeling like? I mean,
I honestly, I had gotten to the point in the song where I was thinking to myself, I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to get a chair turn. I think I'm just going to finish the song and leave the stage. And then they turn, and then it's just a matter of, all right, keep your composure, keep your cool, don't lose your voice.
It's hard for me to picture guys getting nervous and having to worry about holding their composure, because girls are so emotional. I feel like we cry at the drop of a dime, and we just expect guys to never have to worry about that. And here you're saying you go through that very thing where you have to hold yourself together as excited and appreciative as you are.
Right. I mean, I'm fairly reserved as a person in my personality, but so I just kind of compartmentalize a lot of it. But yes, the nerves were insane.
I would have fallen on my face probably.
But I will say though, the most nervous I've ever been was doing the national anthem at a Jags game, a Jacksonville Jaguars game. And that one was I remember being nervous for the voice, but the hours, minutes leading up to the national anthem, I was just this is the most nervous I have ever been.
Yeah, with a stadium full of people looking at you, even though being on television, you've got millions of viewers, but still, being in that stadium and knowing you can actually see most of those bodies sitting in those seats.
Right. And what it means to a lot of people, it holds a lot of weight. And so it makes it made it really nerve wracking. You just don't want to mess it up.
And that's the hardest song to sing.
Right.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. And I don't care how good you are. If you've got some nerves going or something's going on and, you're going to screw something up, and you screw up one little thing with the national anthem, in this day and age with social media, it's bam, bam.
Yeah, that's what gets put all over social media. Not all the good parts, the one
right. Well, and I was singing it without music. So I had to make sure I started low enough that I'd be able to hit the high parts.
Well, you did it though.
Yeah, I did it. I did it. It's on. It's somewhere.
So, I'm sure it's around. I'm sure we could find it if we had to. So that's cool. Go ahead.
How long were you in LA for The Voice? What's that process? We've heard about folks that kind of finished out that whole program, but we never really heard about the beginning part and how long they keep you there for each segment.
Right. So it's a little different based on teams and just kind of their scheduling. But I mean, we probably had somewhere around 100 people that were going to get whittled down to the final, I guess 48 maybe is what you get, 4 teams of 12. And so, I mean, you're sitting there in the hotel long enough for the band to learn 100 songs, practice them multiple times with each person. So, I mean, we were there for a couple weeks just getting ready. But at the same time, you do sit there and you practice. If you're in a hotel for a couple weeks practicing, like you run over your song so many times.
Mhm.
By the time it comes up, you're just ready to sing it and get it over with.
Get it done with.
Yeah.
What was it like to be working with Adam?
It was really cool. He is very down to earth. I mean, the same guy that you see on camera,
Sure.
off camera. It's yeah, and so when we first started working with him, he had Joe Jonas with him.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah, just walking into that room and seeing both those guys sitting there, and then just just singing with them and talking with them and getting compliments and critiques and just learning stuff. It was really great experience. It was really cool, and it was really just cool to see the behind the scenes and how it all comes together.
I love that stuff behind the scenes. But I imagine once you go in there, you feel kind of intimidated and your nerves are like,
sure.
oh my gosh, But then once they start talking and common things come out between all of you, and then it's just like, hey, dude, all right. And is that how it pretty much goes? I mean, just kind of makes
it does. Because he is so down to earth. There is like this air of comfortability there. And so, he did kind of put you at ease. And I mean, I was there with the guy that I was battling against. And like he and I were friends. So, I mean, it really just kind of felt like a hangout. Like we were just hanging out and singing songs and stuff. But it was good. And then the next round, Kelly Clarkson was the mentor. And that was the year before she took over and came on. But she was one of the people that kind of put it in my head to go a little more that country route, because I was singing my song and they came up afterwards and were talking about it with me, and she was just like, you have this, and she probably wouldn't remember saying it at all at this point, but she was just like, you have this really great voice for country, this nice baritone that just kind of cuts through the music. And that was, I mean, I've always loved country, and I've always loved kind of indie country and stuff like that. And so it was really cool to hear that. And then I guess looking back on it now and seeing where I've gone and the different co-writes that I've done in Nashville with people, and I guess the music that I've made, I'm really excited about it. It's been a fun experience.
So you're doing country now. You've got a song on country radio.
I do.
And, did you think you'd be doing country back then? Or did this all like come to this decision was made, as to how you did on The Voice, and where, kind of realized where you really fit, so to speak, with, your baritone voice?
Well, I mean, I really just kind of think that I've always had aspects of country in my music. I mean, a band out of high school, we were playing stuff that had banjos and mandolins and
there you go.
Harmonicas and all that kind of stuff. We really loved that organic sound. So I mean, I've always loved it, and I grew up listening to Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Eagles, Leonard Skinner, just Southern rock, classic country, soul. And so I think it just, more than anything, it just took me a while to find my way to where I feel like I now belong.
Right.
And so it's been a journey, and but I like the stuff now. I'm proud of it. I really love Simple Things, and I'm excited to,
I was that was gonna be my next question. Tell us a little bit about the single that I know RJ is watching this as well. I see his little comment. He says hello to you and all of us. And I told RJ I was going to be off this week, so before I left, I added the song to the Wolf radio station here in Syracuse last Thursday when we had to submit our charts. So it's doing really well. But tell us a little bit about Simple Things.
So Simple Things is it's kind of like my nostalgic roots song, and just about all those people and the moments and the things that are just priceless. Because when I was doing the co-write, we came in and we were just kind of talking about life, and we just kind of came to this idea of, it's just so easy to get caught up in the hustle and the bustle and chasing wealth and success, but you don't really sit back and think a lot of the time about all those simple things in life that mean the most to you, that really don't cost anything.
Sure.
And for me, that's just it's just running around in the yard with my brother when we were younger, playing army and stuff like that, and doing puzzles with my granny, and
Yes, I wasn't the only one that did those things.
right. And and that's the beauty of it to me, is that a lot of the what I call the simple things are simple things for like everybody. Some facet of the small stuff that makes us happiest, is universal. Everybody has those, and a lot of times they're the same things for a lot of people. And so yeah, it's just we wrote that song out, and it was actually it was my second co-write in Nashville, and before then I really just kind of wrote songs on my own, and second co-write and the first like full song we got. And so it's really cool to me that's what came out of it, and it's gone this far, and now it's the first single, and it's probably one of the songs that means the most to me.
That's cool. You talk about a co-write. Who else was on it with you?
Alex Dooley.
Okay.
Alex Dooley was on it with me.
And you guys hooked up in Nashville to do the write.
Right.
And where would you go to write?
So I'm signed with the label SSM in Nashville, and they just have a back room there at the label, and we just kind of Alex came there for that one, but I mean he works with Banner Music, and that's his publishing company or that he works with, and so I mean I'll go over there sometimes and write with him. We have a handful of songs that we've done together. So.
Very nice. You prefer to co-write, or do you prefer to be by yourself?
Before co-writes, I would have said by myself, but at this point, it's really it's fun and easy at the same time to lean on someone else, and just get. I mean, you have these ideas going in your head when you're writing a song. It's like putting a puzzle together or something like that. But then the other person, they have their own ideas, and so you throw them together. You see what both of you like, and it really, to me, just gives you a better product. And,
how long ago did you write this?
This one, I feel like we've had this one in the can for a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
That's not uncommon. I mean, you do so many writes and co-writes. You kind of put the songs over to the side and you just keep writing. And then eventually you got to decide, okay, which one are we going to do? And we're going to send out to radio, and with the help of SSM, of course. So,
and I mean, I guess really kind of like the song would have come out at the beginning of the year, but Corona happened, and
everybody just right there
shelved it for a moment. But I mean, with that being said, I think that this is a really good time for something like this, or at least that's what I'm told. I don't want to like toot my own.
I think it is. And Simple Things is a song. Obviously, you're the co-write on that. It's your song, and it's about those simple things in life. And I think people need to think about those things. So I have to totally agree with you that this is the time to get that song out. I think, there's other songs out there and people are tired of certain messages. This is a good message. People want to think and feel good. And what you're doing is doing exactly that.
Well, thanks. Thank you. I'm glad it's coming through then.
Yeah, no, it is from a radio programmer's point of view. And Deb is very passionate and dedicated to the country music as well. And we talk a lot about music. And it's just, I like to hear what she has to say about certain songs. And she does the same with me because sometimes we're a little bit opposite, but it all comes out good.
It all comes together. Yeah. Which is great. That's where your co-write comes in, is you do have the opinions of other people, and you kind of gain that respect of somebody else's point of view.
Oh, for sure.
I have to ask you that this whole COVID thing, I mean, second week in March, everything pretty much shut down, give or take a few days probably. But all I know is I was just coming back from Florida. We go to spring training every year, and I think we just got back, and then I was told I had a quarantine at home, and then everything shut down. So, but we're all good here. But how has quarantine, how have you handled it? I mean, here's a guy, you depend on your gigs.
I do.
I know you do have another gig though, correct? Are you a medical assistant or a PA or?
I used to be a CNA at a hospital.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so I was just a nurse's assistant.
There you go. Yeah.
And I was working toward like a physician's assistant program, but I haven't done that in probably a year and a half. Yeah, I just got to a point where I was able to play music full time, and so I was doing it.
Yeah, and it's what you love.
So yeah,
not
absolutely. Well, I mean, I got to a point where I was like, I can make my whole day of working at the hospital in about 2 to 3 hours. So why not do that?
Yeah,
and then just use the extra time to hone the craft and do a little more stuff to further the music career. But
yeah, I was going to ask you what you've done with that time, and obviously you, like a lot of other new and independent artists, even well-established artists, they've kind of worked on a few things with their career, or maybe tweaked a few things, or maybe just took a little time to themselves to do a little bit of writing, or maybe they put the pen and paper down all together and just kind of went outside for a walk, if you know what I mean, just to break.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, for the first little bit, it was kind of a blessing. I mean, you sit there and you play so often, you kind of get a little burnt out in some aspects.
Oh, sure.
And so like, it was really nice in the beginning to just kind of sit around and recharge and work on some hobbies and stuff that I enjoy. But then it gets to a point where it's like, all right, I need income. I need to start doing something.
Just a little bit would be helpful, right?
Right.
I know it's tough.
But I will also say that, looping back to simple things, that it did give me time to like reconnect with, I don't know, just kind of like hanging out with your family and doing some of the smaller stuff that just kind of means the most. And then I got into woodworking.
Oh, cool.
So
I just all your fingers. You you got it. Oh, okay, good.
I mean,
fingers.
They've got some nicks and stuff. It's probably, I think it's a camera angle. Let's just call it the camera angle. Yeah, I mean, they've got some nicks and stuff on them, but I still have them all.
So what are you doing with the woodworking? Are you doing like furniture, or are you just
well, actually
I don't know.
The table that my laptop is on, I built this table.
Oh, nice.
And then just like little things. Like I just did some like repair work on my sister's roof today. And just making like cutting boards, and I made coasters for you guys for radio. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
And just kind of just like little things.
They came today, Deb.
Yeah, I might steal one of those. How many you got there?
I got 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you one, but you can't take the other one. I love it. Actually, they're cool. You made these?
I did. I made them. I just kind of I got some scrap wood, and I just kind of put it all together and just kind of planed it out, and then
Nice.
did like a little wood burning on it.
Yeah, I like that. That's how my you can't see it here, but if and when you get to come through on a radio tour, what we call a radio tour, when the artists visit the radio stations and introduce themselves to everybody, we'll already have known each other, but you come over, you do the podcast with Deb and I. My table in the middle, it says Skip Happens Podcast. It's burned into the table. So a buddy of mine does probably like what you do. He's taken up woodworking and he built the table, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So
Nice. Yeah, no, I mean I really enjoy it. It's something, you know, that I'm learning. Of course, I'm not great, but
hey, you know what? It's something to do, and something else to fall back on if and when things happen, if they should ever happen again. But the most important thing is you're doing really well with your music. You've got a song on the radio now, and to me, that's like, my wife's going to get mad at me because I say this all the time, and I know she's upstairs listening, but that's really, really cool.
Wait a second.
Too much.
That's the first time you said it tonight.
And see, Deb keeps track too.
Well,
you say really, really cool a lot.
He does. And I kind of noticed it, but I didn't really pay total attention to it. And one of the artists said, "You say that a lot. And all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I am going to keep track. And what did you, like in 6 minutes, said it 6 times or something?
I went through a phase where I would say, cool.
Yeah.
And I would do that a lot. And then people would just be like, why? Come on, man.
I used to always say like cool beans. That's cool beans.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what? But no, you know, everybody has a crutch, you know, being in radio. I mean, we have our crutches. You don't even realize you say it. And it's like, you know, afterwards, my wife Nance would be like, honey, you know, you said really, really cool about 8 times in the matter of, you know, 8 minutes, or like Deb just said, in the matter of 6 minutes.
So now we're conscious. If we all are. Well, it's just like when you're learning. Well, I took theater classes when I was younger, and one of the things that I was critiqued on was when you're presenting or when you're up there and you don't know what to say, don't say like don't do it. Just either be silent or say what you have to say. So I'm always conscious of
we're here with Dylan Gerard. And he's
I did. My dad was is, I guess, the director at our high school, our theater director. And so I grew up doing plays and stuff.
I was going to bring that up.
Were you?
Yes. And Deb that was a good lead into that, but you brought it up. That's I was reading.
Let's call that a nice segue, a planned segue.
Yeah, planned but not really planned. That all worked out well. All right, so you got a song on the radio. We're doing really well. It's Dylan Gerard from The Voice, season 13, and you know, being on that stage and everything that goes on that we don't see on TV. See, those are the things that amaze me. I could just sit and watch a production from backstage. Even when I go to a theater production, you know, the production, the show is one thing. I'm watching what's going on everywhere else. The lights and the curtains and who's doing what. And I'm waving my arms around like I'm Italian, and I'm not. But Deb should be waving her hands. But yes, there you go. But those are the things that amaze me. Was that really like being backstage and watching all that? What was that production like?
And I mean, it was crazy because I don't really know how much I can give away, but it was on a sound stage,
right?
And I've never been on a sound stage before, and they are huge. So that whole thing is inside the soundstage, and it's not even inside the whole soundstage. It's inside like half the soundstage. Like that's how big it was. But just even down to like doors that open by themselves, that look like they're, I don't know, just mechanical or something. There's a guy sitting there like pulling a rope and opening it. But just like some of that kind of like movie magic stuff. And
that's what it is. It's magic, and it's all theater of the mind, which makes it come out. You know, I remember seeing you walk out on that stage in the blind. I mean, watching your video of the blind audition, and just to watch, not only watching you, but watching everything around you, which, I just love
Right.
doing that. So,
Well, and like when we went to practice on the stage, just the scale of it is really cool. Just walking out there, all the lights, all the LED screens, and then you've got the band over there set up, and it really is. It was really cool to see it all. Because I mean, before then, I had just been on, high school and community college stages, where you just have like your little rack lights up there and stuff like that, and your backdrops that you pull up and down.
Yep.
So I mean, it was just a whole nother scale. It was,
the whole experience of being on The Voice, and now you've got a single on the radio. But how has that whole experience set you up for what you're doing right now for today? Has that really helped you a lot, being on The Voice? People now know who you are, your hometown, the radio stations. How does all that work?
right. Well, I mean, I didn't really do a lot of singing today, but yeah, usually, I mean, it's for me, it's just kind of just a lot of preparation, because I'll do stuff that's smaller than anything I've done before, but you still use a lot of that stuff that you pick up, and then going and playing at something like CRS in Nashville, and just getting back up on the stage, or playing a show at a venue with a bunch of people, and you have to entertain them instead of just going through the motions. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that just kind of picked up, and it's just kind of like your little tool bag, and you just pull stuff out whenever you need it. But with that being said, I could do some learning still.
Well, you're doing very well. I don't know, Deb. I don't know. We went into the SSM suite.
Right.
Were you in there?
Yep.
Maybe, well, we didn't know each other at that point in time. But,
right. No, I played in there, and then I think that was the same night that like Ashley Barron, you'll have her on later on this week.
Coming up this week. Yep.
Yeah. She played in there, and we.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. And that was a great suite to go in. We knew we could get a beer, or we could get coffee, and we could listen to some great music. So that was
right.
I wasn't going to say. That was pretty.
So,
pretty
do you go? Was this your past? Was that your first CRS?
I had gone before, so this was my second CRS. But the first CRS, I think I had only been signed with SSM for a couple of months.
Right.
So I didn't really have much to show for being there. But that one was more of just kind of like, this is the experience. This is what you have to look forward to next year, or like this past, what was it, February?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was February.
Gosh, haven't heard anything about this year yet, have we?
No, I mean, I haven't. But
no, I think things are going to be up in the air for a little while.
Yeah.
So, but
no, I mean, I was really looking forward to CMA Fest and just kind of seeing what that was going to be like.
There you go, Deb.
I know. Do you traditionally go to CMA Fest as?
Well, this would have been my second one, so I went the first time around, and yeah, I mean, it was really cool. It was really cool.
Did you perform, or were you there as a fan?
No, I was there as an artist with SSM, and did a little signing here and there, and just talking and shaking hands, hugging babies.
Yeah.
Dylan, ask Deb how many times she's been to the fest.
Hey, Deb, I had a question real quick. How many times have you been to CMA Fest?
Well, right now we're at 21 years in a row.
Well, okay.
Yeah. We
do you have a favorite one? Do you have a favorite CMA Fest that you went to?
Well, way back when it was Fanfare.
Right.
When it first was coming out, it was Fanfare, and we used to go. Our kids were little, and we'd play catch with them. There wasn't any big assigned seating. It was at the fairgrounds. Those were my kids got in the Country Weekly magazine because, they're playing football in the field and the artists are performing. But we used to do crazy things. Oh my God. Friends of mine, Paula, who I think is logged on, we used to like line up at, her and her husband would be lined up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning trying to go catch a Garth Brooks signing or something. And we'd go 6 o'clock in the morning and stand in line. We'd sleep overnight on the street to get tickets.
She was that person.
I was that person. I was totally that person.
We need those people, though.
Oh, yeah, yes. It's amazing how much I've come around, though. But I wouldn't trade in those experiences for anything. They were the best. They were the best. I mean, I love CMA Fest now. It's just a totally different experience.
Right.
But those days were just so awesome.
See, now,
for the artists,
Deb is working on the other side of it now with me, so it's crazy. It's crazy, but that's a true fan, and she's passionate and dedicated. And even at the CMA Awards in the past, I'd be sitting here in the queues on my couch watching the awards, and there's Deb as a seat filler. Like, I know her. Deb. You see her out, doing all the crazy stuff. So
we've had a lot of fun.
Yeah. So. But now she's on the other side of it, and she's got a great organization with the official country music fan club, and we've kind of put everything together, me with the radio thing, and we're working a lot with her organization, and we get to talk to great artists like you. And it's, yeah, I know I'm talking a lot, but that's nothing new for me. But we really put the emphasis on, it's great to talk to some of the well-established artists. We took time with Martina here a few weeks ago. We had Pam Tillis on. We've had some of the other artists on with us, but really we love chatting with people like you that are new, that you're up and coming. You've got a mountain to climb, but you know what? It doesn't happen overnight, and just keep plugging away and talk to the radio people and do these podcasts and just get yourself out there.
Yeah, no, that's what I've kind of been telling myself throughout this is just, man, you're in the trenches, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and don't necessarily worry about where you want to be. Just worry about getting there, And
just worry about yourself, not everybody else.
Right. And then that is the other thing, just kind of having to put on blinders sometimes. Because, I mean, there are people that, like that I was on The Voice with, that are doing really cool stuff right now. And then there are just some other people that, I follow, and I just look at it and I'm like, man, it'd be really cool to be doing that. But no, I mean, you just gotta say, hey, it all happens in time, and, and just put in the work and hope for the best.
Well, everybody works at their own pace, and you all have different specialties you'll end up getting involved with. So, all of a sudden.
Well, I actually have a guy that was on The Voice, Gary Carpentier. He is up there in that Syracuse area.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Have you been in the Northeast at all? Have you been up through this neck of the woods, so to speak?
I mean, I've gone on like family trips and vacations and stuff like that. I think the furthest north I've gotten was Concord, Massachusetts.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. And then I mean, we did like Boston and stuff like that, New York, and I got up to on Ottawa, Ontario.
That's beautiful.
I've got a cousin that lives up there, and
wow, north.
So I guess that's really kind of like the furthest north I've gotten in North America, at least.
We can't go there right now.
Right.
But, can't go anywhere.
Once you start that radio tour, you'll see a lot of sights.
But no, I mean, I haven't been into like into the state of New York very much, and so like that's one of the things that I'm excited about is to get on a radio tour, to play shows, and just kind of see a little more of the country. And
absolutely. And once you get out there, once all this is over with, and it couldn't happen soon enough, seriously, that we just want everybody to be safe right now, but to get you out there and get you hitting the radio stations on that radio tour and take advantage of what you can.
Because I mean, whenever we can, we'd love to get up there and play for you guys and do some kind of a show or something.
Do you play with you got a regular bunch of guys when you do get together and play? Do you have a regular band, or is it just you pull people together? Or
when I'm down here in Florida, I have guys that I play with a pretty good amount. That played with them since high school.
That's cool.
But they're all like married with kids and stuff, and so it's hard to really do anything outside of Jacksonville. So then when we do that, I just kind of have to get musicians to play with me that I've played with before and just kind of know the music and have a good rapport with. So that's kind of where going outside of Florida, that's how we put it all together there.
How often do you get up to Nashville?
I would say probably about once a month, once every other month. It's slowed down since Corona, but either for rights or a radio visit here and there, or just kind of putting music together. I mean, every trip's a little different, but just kind of waiting for it to make sense to get up there.
I hear you, brother. We'd love to have you in the studio in person. Here we're doing it this way, maybe. And I've mentioned this a million times as well. And I know Deb knows what I'm going to say. I'll bet that, because it's the same that with Corona or the COVID-19, we have learned to do things differently,
right? Maybe
even a little bit better. I mean, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing right here, right now, if it wasn't for, this COVID-19. It's just a whole new way of doing things. But then there's also that scary side of things where are they going to want you to do this all the time and save a few bucks? I mean, whether we're doing this with you as an artist or these people that are now working from home and the big companies are going, you know what, we're getting the same amount of work done or whatever. And it's going to be a lot cheaper to do it this way. We don't have to rent office space, or we don't have, I mean, it's just, it's kind of crazy, but there's a bad.
It's interesting, for sure. And I think like you said, there's the good and the bad with it. But I think that for the most part, we all just kind of crave to be around each other and to interact.
Yeah. Well, we're not allowed to go to Florida. Right. Or if we go and visit, we have to quarantine for.
Yeah, you got to quarantine when you get back.
And how is that down there? Anyways, we're hearing that Florida their numbers are through the roof, and they're breaking like records every day as to the amount of people that have been testing positive or the amount of people that have died. It's scary when you hear all those numbers. But then we talk to people like you, and everything looks great. So
right. Well, I mean, and that's where I'm a little different because for the most part, I just kind of stay inside and then I'll go over to where my, I call it the shop, where my shop is, where I work on stuff like woodworking and things like that. And so like, I don't really have a ton of, person-to-person interaction with strangers.
Right.
Eat a lot of frozen pizzas and cheeseburgers and stuff.
Nothing wrong with that. Get the cauliflower.
Yeah, so I don't really have to worry too much about just kind of being out in it. But then there are people that like aren't in my position, and they have to continue to go and work and either be a bartender or a server or some kind of something like that, where you do have a lot of changing of hands with everything, and you're just out in the middle of it. So, I mean, now like you add going back to school into the mix. It can get crazy. It can get wild.
Yeah, all of our schools have been given the green light to open up. All those that have submitted plans to the governor, there's like 107 that have not, districts in New York State, but everybody that has, they've gotten the green light to open up. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out, and whether or not how are the teachers going to handle it. I mean, we're getting a little bit off topic here, but still wonder, they want to be safe. They don't want to bring stuff home and spread it, So it's crazy. But back to your music. Enough about that. Anyway, so what's your website, Dylan?
It's just Dylan Gerard Music. So it's my first last name, DylanGerardMusic.com. And it's got links to all my social medias there: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
Cool.
YouTube, Spotify.
Are you pretty active on social media? If somebody gets a hold of you and
I'm pretty active as far as like keeping up with whether or not if somebody's like writing to me or something like that. But when it comes to posting, there are just so many times in my life where I'll have something ready to post and I'm like, nobody really cares about this. And it's just like,
it all depends, man.
It's just like your little like mundane things that you do in life, or like, I mean, sometimes honestly, there are days where, especially because of Corona now, where I really like, I'll just go and work on something on my own and I'll either lose track of time or I just don't feel like there's anything worth posting about. So, I mean, when I know when Simple Things starts to release digitally and stuff like that, and now that it's on radio, you know, I've got some stuff that we're going to be doing on our social medias, but you know, before then, I always just say that I'm not great at social media, but hey, I'm working on it. I'm trying to
hear you.
I'm the same way. I'm not great at it, but I'm working on it. But I have a nice little team of people that help me out, so that's great.
That is very important. And I've got a good team with SSM, and they know a lot more than I do, and so I just kind of lean on them.
That's why they're there, and that leads me into another question. Your team at SSM, we have artists that do all this by themselves. Then we have artists like you that get a group like SSM. How important is it for an independent artist such as yourself to have a team like that as opposed to doing it by yourself?
Right. I have a pretty good amount of people that'll ask me about SSM, and I just really have to say the same thing to them every time. It's just kind of like, I do not have the connections that SSM has, and I could not do it on my own. I don't have that personality. I don't have like, I just, I need SSM to help, I guess, kind of like help me develop, put me in touch with co-writes and radio and just all those different things. And so I'm very grateful for them. They do a great job. And, you know, I know I couldn't do it without them. I definitely wouldn't be here without them.
So, I mean, they help develop you, as you mentioned, point you in the right direction. They can even help you with the social media that we were just talking about. And the reason I'm saying all this is we have a lot of newer artists that are listening, and people are like, you know, how does all this work? Or why should I get a team like that? Why should I go and invest thousands of dollars to get somebody to do this for me? Well, it's all worth it because these people are going to point you in the right direction and help not only do that, but help develop you into an artist, into a darn good artist. So
because I mean, really, it's so easy now to be an independent artist, and so because of that, there are so many artists, and there's so many people just kind of like bottlenecking into, you know, media, and so I mean, it's definitely, I think it's really hard to be an independent artist, and there are people that succeed and do it really well, but there are so many people that I just think sometimes have so much talent and so much ability, but they'll never get there because they kind of give up because it's so overwhelming to try and do it on your own. And I honestly, like, that would have been me. Like, before The Voice, I was just kind of, I had given up on music, and I was just like, I'll play it here and there just to have fun with friends. But then I did The Voice, and it just kind of opened doors, and then SSM came along, and they were a godsend, and so.
And they're good. They're awesome. You know, I get to work with them quite often, them and some of the other, you know, management promotional
Right.
marketing companies, and there's a lot of good ones out there, and you definitely have a good one. So
Well, hey, good. Thanks.
cool. And I love the people, RJ, who I talk to all the time. You got some really good people behind you and really pushing your product, which is your music and your song to radio. Simple things. So that's good. Dylan, you're awesome, man. It's been a great conversation.
You guys are too.
It's pretty laid back, and that's what we do. We just come on and we chit chat and find out about you. And anybody can listen to this anytime, anywhere that they get their podcast. They can hear the audio, or they can check it out right here on Facebook or YouTube. And it's pretty cool. So, and also being on The Voice, man, I tell you, that's right there. Like you said, that opens up so many doors.
Right.
That's a good indication that you're somebody, that you are good. If you even, just to make it to that level, there's thousands that don't.
Right.
Did. So don't, just.
Well, and I have to tell myself every once in a while that I was good enough to be there. So, hopefully I'm good enough to be here.
You are. Let me ask you one question. Another one.
Yes.
If you weren't doing music, what do you think you would be doing?
Oh man, I don't really know right now. Because I was trying to go in that medical route.
A lot of schooling though. Deb's got a family member that's become a doctor, so we know that there's a lot of schooling to that.
Yeah, there is, and that's one of the things that I think I got a little burnout on it doing the nurse's assistant stuff. Like there were some days that you would meet people and it would be so great and you just really felt fulfilled. But then there were other times where it was really rough. And so I think that path, that would have been tough. But, I've always loved the stuff that I always loved doing, or the arts, whether it's painting, drawing, now like woodworking. I kind of feel like that's like in carpentry. I feel like that's kind of like
art.
It's kind of like an art,
craft.
And so I've always loved doing that stuff, music, and unfortunately, a lot of the arts are hard to make money in. And so,
don't we know that?
Yeah. And that's when I look at things like carpentry and woodworking and, welding and like all those kind of hands-on jobs, and things that I enjoy doing.
Cool. So
I think that's probably something along the lines of like what I'm doing right now.
That's awesome. Dylan, it's been great chatting with you tonight. And
thank you. You guys too.
On your website, DylanGerardmusic.com, I would assume, do you have merchandise on there? And
I don't. We're in the process of retooling some merch for the album coming out, the single, stuff like that. But I will say, just kind of keep an eye on it, and when we get stuff, we'll put it out there.
That's cool. What about the album date? Do you have any idea when you're going to be able to release the album?
We're talking about that now. It was going to be a summer album, but just with everything going on and not really being able to play the album and go out and do a lot with it, we're just kind of holding on to it right now. We just kind of buttoning it up, and
I don't
really just trying to figure out when we want to put it out there.
Gotcha. Well, Dylan, Gerard, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. A great conversation, and to get to know you a little bit. And I hope we get to meet in person.
For sure. I'd love to get up there.
Yeah, we'd love to get down there.
All right.
Well, let's see. We'll plan to come visit you around February, March.
Yeah.
Right.
You can come visit us around June, July.
Yeah,
that's fine with me.
That would be perfect. We can get out of the cold and the snow and hang out in Jacksonville, and you can come up here when we get a beautiful summer. It's summer, actually, when you think about it. This is probably one of the nicest summers weather-wise we've ever had that I can remember, but yet we can't do anything. So
right. I know. Didn't Isaias
we got one day of rain.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, well, we're in upstate New York, so we got the rain. We didn't get the wind. We got 1 day of rain, but the southern tier down near New York City, I want to say Poughkeepsie, maybe out on the island. Deb knows more about the island than I do. She's from Long Island, but
Okay.
they got a lot of wind and a lot of rain, and that's when you watch some of these national morning shows, some of these people still don't have power, and they're doing it from their homes.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I saw like the flooding and stuff that was going on kind of on the coast, but
yeah, we got some rain. We might have gotten a couple of inches of rain in a day, but for us, it drained off pretty quickly, and we didn't have any issues with the wind. Not here in upstate. So,
hey, Deb, is this a common debate? The whole in or on Long Island?
You know, it's funny you say that, but yeah, a lot of people I say on Long Island.
Okay.
I
did I say in?
But a lot of people will say in Long Island, but it should be on Long Island. I do miss the beaches. That is one thing I say. What?
What's that?
You're laughing at me.
I was laughing. Did I say in?
I don't know. Did you say in? I'm gonna have to go back and
look. I'm just you said you were from Long Island area, and so I just thought. I mean, I've heard that debate every once in a while, but I just wanted to know where you fell.
Oh, I'm on.
You're on.
Okay.
But
it's funny, but I've learned how to say Long Island now, where it used to be like Long Island. You know,
just did it though.
Terrible accent. I still have a little bit of an accent, but I've had to dwindle.
Are you an Islanders fan?
No, you know what? I never really got into hockey until my son worked for the NHL for a few years. Then I started really getting into hockey. So,
well, hey, they beat the Florida Panthers, so they're moving on.
They're moving on. I haven't followed in hockey yet since the season started, but I do enjoy it now.
And now you can watch hockey. You can watch baseball. You've got the NBA. You've got look at all the different sports you can watch.
We just have an overload of sports right now, and we had none for so long.
Right, and now with the NBA, what they're doing with virtual fans, I don't know if you've seen that. That is the coolest thing I have ever seen. And they're like high-fiving each other just by doing that. It's so awesome.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, but the NBA is doing that now. With baseball, they got cardboard cutouts,
right.
Fans. And I forgot what team I was watching. Might have been over the weekend, but they have a cutout of. Remember Weekend at Bernie's or that movie? Where
they had the sunglasses.
Yeah, he's sitting behind home plate. Which is
I saw that. That was good.
All right, Dylan Gerard, you're awesome, my friend. We want our viewers and our listeners to check you out online. Go to dylangerardmusic.com and listen to the music. Watch for the album. We'll keep you posted. You can hear the song Simple Things on the Wolf in Syracuse. And it's just an honor to meet you, an honor to talk to you.
Well, thank you guys. You guys
know about you and the voice and just being there, man, and how that opens so many doors for you. Just really cool. Enjoy life, dude. Wear your mask. Mask it. If you go out, mask it.
Yeah, I do that in the Germex.
There you go. Man, my hands are like raw.
Keep your fingers crossed that we get to see you in February.
Yeah, no, I'd love to do that.
All right. Dylan, don't go anywhere, but we're going to say goodbye to our viewers right now. And thank you for checking out Skip Happens along with Deb Lamphere, the official country music fan club. Make sure you check us out online at skiphappens.com. Also on YouTube. And Deb, your Facebook and everything.
Facebook page right now at the Country Music Fan Club.
Yep. And you have a website.
My website is the officialcountrymusicfanclub.com, but we're revamping that a little bit. So our up-to-date information we're funneling through Facebook at the moment.
Awesome. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you like us on YouTube as well. Skip Happens. Dylan, stay right there. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Take care. Have a